AutoPath Boundaries has a cool new feature that makes starting your field work in the right place a breeze. I'm sitting here in the field right now, getting ready to start planting, and I've got my planter sitting right where I want it on the edge of the headland. My guidance line is not in the right spot. I've used the shift buttons over the years to move it back and forth, but no matter what I do, it's never really what I want it to be. And then I get into a different machine and it's wrong all over again. So how can AutoPath make this easy for me? I'm going to go into my AutoPath setup and I'm going to choose the Align to Boundary feature. Align to Boundary lets you choose a certain side of the field that you want to align to. In this example, my field actually has two shapes. Shape 1 is the larger portion of the field, and shape 2 is this small area in the southwest corner. I want to align to the bottom of shape 1, so I'll choose that, and then I need to tell AutoPath which side of the field to start with. Line 1 is the longest, and it's along the north edge of the field, or at least part of the north edge. Line 2 is along the south edge, which is where I actually want to do this. But let's look at some other options. Line 3 is along the west side of the field, so I can align to that. Line 4 is curved. However, the dots or the alignment points for this would be at the very edge, so it would create a straight line in that sort of heading angle. We do not support curves yet in AutoPath Boundaries. Look for that in a future release. And finally, line 5 is over there on the east side of the field. So I want to use line 2, and it gives me an A and B point, the start and the end of that side of the field boundary. It also gives me the initial heading angle, 269.7480. That's very precise, aligned to that edge of the field. However, I want to edit my A and B point slightly, and I also have a magnifying glass. Right now I'm at 950 feet away, so I'm going to zoom in and get a little closer so that I've got a little bit better view of what's actually happening here. You'll see there's a curve here. I can use my clockwise and counterclockwise buttons to move this dot along the edge of the field boundary. If I go clockwise, it goes in a clockwise manner, and I get kind of off of that curve there, and now I'm on the straight portion of the boundary. Pretty happy with that, so I'll say okay. I'm going to do the same thing to my B point. In fact, I'm going to zoom in here. I want to make sure it's also on the very flat side of the field and not getting kind of impacted by that curve. So I'm going to go a little bit, wrong direction, a little bit counterclockwise around the field. And now I've got my A and B points where I want. Now I have 269.7551. Let's take a look at how that works now. I'm going to choose my Align to Boundary AutoPath as my guidance line type. And what do you know? That Align to Boundary has placed the guidance line automatically within 2 inches of where I wanted it to be. I could do some small shifting here if I wanted to, but this is so close we can probably just get started. AutoPath's Align to Boundary feature is going to make getting your field started very, very easy. So try it out and see what you think.